It's not even sure the date today. I just woke up. You can tell I haven't even combed my hair. Today is the first day of the rest of my life. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. It's great to be alive. We live in a free country. Thank God we're still standing. We've got all kinds of chaos in the world today. We've got Russia, China, the cartel from the south, the Arabs from the west and east. I mean, they're all impending upon us, and we're in the middle of a civil war. What in the world have we gotten ourselves into, people? We'll weather it, but we need to just get our heads together and realize, look, it's us against them. Let's not fight each other. Let's unite with each other. Forget this red and blue shit, okay? And as a matter of fact, I'm starting to agree with David Paul. I think we ought to just ban the damn government. I really do. Keep the military. You gotta have the military. But that's the only purpose the government should serve. Other than that, I think that it ought to be delegated to the states to decide how they want to run their own government. And forget party lines. Just let it be popular vote. That's what David Paul said. Off the wall with David Paul. Look it up. Look it up. It's on the internet. He's been around for, 20 years now? And he used to be on the radio. I used to listen to him all the time. He's a comedian. But a lot of what he says is true. States' rights. States' rights. That's a very conservative way of looking at the world, but I'm not a conservative. I'm a liberal. I've always been a liberal. Since I was a little kid, I was always taught that the Democrats look out for the little guy and the Republicans look out for big business. Okay, so with that in mind, obviously, we're all little people starting out, and we're lifting the great pyramid of the 1% at the top that control 99% at the bottom. And that's the way that nature has it with the human race. It's always been this way. We're never going to overcome it, but we can overcome one thing, and that's worshiping the people at the top. Just because they got money doesn't make them any different than us. It just gives them more power because little stupid people like us worship the almighty dollar and will kill ourselves to get it. Now, when they come out with a CBDC, it's going to wipe all that out. CBDC stands for Central Bank Digital Currency. And the reason they're coming out with that is to compete with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a worldwide currency currently, and it is used quite frequently for nefarious reasons. Just like when the internet first came out, it was obliterated with pornography. And until they started putting controls in the internet, it was chaos. It really was. I remember when the internet first started out, I was right there in the cutting edge with what could have been, in other words, when they were putting the internet together, I was running bulletin boards. It was before the internet. I had one that was called the Kink Link. I had one that was called the Chestnut. I had all kinds of ideas and grandiose thoughts. I started the corporation called Datacom before computers were even that popular, but I knew that it was coming. I knew it was coming. I felt it in my bones, but you know what I did? I sold that company. I sold the rights to that name, Datacom. I sold it for $500. Back then, $500 was a lot of money. I think I went out and bought a used car with that. But after that, I started a corporation called INS, and that was based on insurance network systems. I had this grandiose idea. I was going to bring all the insurance industry together like a hub. And there is a guy today that has a company here in Atlanta called the Insurance Hub, and he's a very, very wealthy guy. His name is Jim Lloyd, and I used to work for him years and years ago. Okay, that was before I started my agency. When I left the service, the Army, I was stationed at Fort McPherson, and they were paying for my education all the way through a master's degree and on. I was going to be a PhD, and I met the woman of my dreams. Her name is Janet. She is an unbelievable person. I'm not going to get into the details of how special she is. You'll have to see for yourself. She's clairvoyant, okay? How does she know what she knows? I have no idea. It's a gift. She was given that gift from her mother. Her mother is also a clairvoyant. She comes from a very good bloodline. And because of that, she bore me a child, and today he has become infamous in his own industry. He's a technie. He's a techie, I guess you'd call it. And he's got a son, so I'm a grandfather now. Everybody's got dirty laundry in their family. I'm not going to get into the weeds about how my family is screwed up or how that we're better than that family. Look, we're all in this boat together. Okay, we're Americans. Let's quit picking on each other about our differences, about the mites in our eyes, and let's look toward the future. And the future of America is we have got to unite and quit this fighting. Antifa, I fought for you, okay? I was in the army fighting for your freedom to do what you're doing today. But I don't agree with what you're doing. You're tearing down statues and burning our cities. That's no way to behave. You want to behave right? You demonstrate, you organize the way Barack Obama did. And you organize large masses of people that march for a cause. But you don't get violent and start killing each other or other people or destroying property. That's no way to behave. And grow up. And Bezos or Soros or whoever the money people are funding this crap, wake up, grow up, assholes. Grow up. Understand that we're not going to reshuffle the deck for you assholes just because you got money and you can organize and bring in these infiltrants into our cities. We're not going to tolerate it anymore. The United States of America is still free, and we're going to remain that way. And to tear down our system and destroy our freedom is going to destroy the world's economy, and the world will no longer be free. We'll go 1,000 years under the rule of dictatorships. Okay? So let's all get together, unite, and pray to God that we'll wake up, America. Wake up. Let's start loving each other, okay? Let's get religion if necessary. Walk in the footsteps of Jesus. Do it. Think about what he represents. And you may not be Christian. It has nothing to do with being, born again or any of that stuff. It's being a good person. He was a good person. True, he was deified by the Catholic Church, and who knows whether, all the stuff in the Bible is completely factual. Some people believe it is. I happen to believe that there are other religions that mimic Christianity and say the same kind of things. They've got their own version of Christ. The fact is, I believe that we as humans have a genetic propensity for being religious because religion is bringing order into chaos. Okay? Listen to the words of famous people like Frank Sinatra. You hear that noise in the background? That's his song. Love and marriage go together like a horse and carriage. Dad was told by mother, you can't have one, you can't have none without the other. Think about that. We don't want to continue to have children out of wedlock. We want to find a husband, get married. You want to have babies? Get married. Get married to a biological man. Women and men, look, if you're funny like that and you want to be gay and you want to be bi, that's fine. But if you start having children, look to have a structure where you have a mother figure in the family and a father figure in the family. And what better figure than to be true blue and get a real man? Look, men can gain equal rights with women. What if I put a dress on and I'm a weightlifter? I could whip it wouldn't be fair to the women in that area. Basketball, if I was real tall, I was 7 feet as a man, and I wanted to compete against a woman, all I got to do is put on a dress. and I can compete with them. That's not fair. Anybody with a brain knows that that's an idiocy. And men showering with women, a lot of things about our society we're going through, and it's probably a natural evolution. I'm sure these kind of things have happened in the past. It's the swing of the pendulum, the swing of the pendulum from one extreme to the other. And really deep down, that's kind of the way people are. They swing, they have mood swings. Society has mood swings too. And right now we're in a crazy mood swing, and we need to get back to being normal. Slow that pendulum down, and let's get normal, and let's start loving each other and doing what's right and what we know in our heart to be right. Everybody's got a conscience, whether they want to realize it or not. And I believe this, and I'm going to end this conversation now. There's no point in beating a dead horse. I think you know where I'm coming from. So, cheers to you. I'm drinking my smoothie of the morning. It's all my vitamins and fruit and everything thrown into one blender. So, that and coffee. It's a good combination. Try it sometime. Thank you for your time, and may God bless. Thank you.